good morning to you. Now, Dr. Charlie Lineweaver, the moon, it orbits the Earth every month. We get a full moon every month. Why is this such a rare occurrence?
Well, first of all, I want to do an experiment and show that when the moon is close, when objects are close, they are bigger. So let's say this is the moon. When it's closer, it gets bigger. And when it's further away, it's smaller. So we're doing this close and small. So that's a scientific experiment. We just showed that closer things are bigger.
Excellent.
Now, why is the moon going to be close tomorrow night? Well, I have a hula hoop to describe this. So if here's the Earth and here's the orbit of the moon, as you said, the moon goes around once a month. If the Earth were here and the orbit was circular, then the distance between the Earth and the moon would be the same, no matter where it is. But about 500 years ago, Johann Kepler found out that the universe is not a perfect place, as we found out last week. And instead, we have orbits that are elliptical. They're squashed. And so if the Earth is here and the moon is there, they're very close. And then when the moon is over there, it's very far. When the full moon is over there, it's close and full, and that's what makes a supermoon. When it's over there, apogee, and it's full, that's what makes a micromoon, a small moon. So what's going to be special about tomorrow is that it's going to be a perigee, very close, and it's going to be full. And when those two things get together, that makes a supermoon.
Now, what will people actually be able to see? Because I understand that the moon will be appearing some 14 times larger than we'd normally see it.
No. You got the data a little bit wrong there. So let me show you a comparison. If this is the moon when it's at apogee, when it's furthest away, this is the full moon. This is the size of the full moon when the moon is at furthest away from the Earth. This is the size of the moon when it will be tomorrow night, when it's closest. So you can see that there's a difference. This is when it's furthest away. This is when it's closest tomorrow night. And that's what's going to make it a fantastic sight.
Just as well, you've got the right size pans in your kitchen there, Dr. Charlie Lineweaver. So in terms of the proximity to the Earth, what will people be able to see with the naked eye? Will they actually be able to pick up specific features on the surface of the moon?
Well, no more than they usually can, except there's a little bit closer. For example, the reason why this one looks so big is because it's compared to this. If I took away this moon, you would say, well, that looks about the same as it usually does. I should also point out that if you look at it when this big supermoon is rising near the horizon, then you also benefit from what's called an optical illusion. Here's an optical illusion. These two lines are the same, but the line at the bottom looks longer. That's not really the case. It's an optical illusion. So when the moon is near the horizon, it looks bigger than it really is. And so if you want an optical illusion and a supermoon, tomorrow night at 7:47, look at it coming up. It will just see bigger than you've ever seen it before.
Well, some of us are a little bit worried, though, about the weather forecast for tomorrow. Have you been reading in to see whether or not we'll actually be able to see what's there in the sky, or have you detected that there might be some cloud cover, even rain for some of us?
Well, I think I read in Canberra it's partly cloudy, but that means partly visible, so you can still see it. You just have to be a little bit more patient, I guess.
All right then. Now, of course, I have to note there are some among us who will attribute all manner of earthly events to the full moon, even more so a supermoon, I'd imagine. Anything from earthquakes to possibly supersized werewolves. Should people be worried, or is this just, a little bit of superstition creeping in?
Well, I have two comments about that. One is superstition, and the other is, oh! Superstition. Well, you know what? When we have a full moon, every full moon, and it will, because it's a full moon at perigee, the tide will be a little bit higher. If you're measuring the tides, if it's usually this tide high, it'll probably be maybe a little bit higher. So that produces a little bit of, not much, just tides.
Well, we are all looking forward to hopefully catching a great glimpse of this rare event, only once in 68 years. So, Dr. Charlie Lineweaver, wonderful to have your company. Thank you for talking us through.
You're welcome. You're welcome.